This is Zildjian Pearl 23's extremely detailed drum set tour by Danny Smith. So I am going to show you every bit of my drum set in detail up to this point, which is July 2015. We'll just start on the left side and work our way to the right side, and then I will actually show you different sounds as we go along, and I will show you different styles and grooves that go with each part and accessory. First of all, we've got some cymbals here on the left. Two splash cymbals, both 10 inches. One's a Wuhan, and one is a K Dark Custom Splash. Then moving up, we've got an A Custom 14-inch Crash. Let me just give you a little bit of a sound of these before I go on any further. The Wuhan, the K, the A Custom 14-inch. Skipping over a few, I've got a 15-inch A Custom and a 16-inch A Custom Fast Crash. So they sound like. So I got 14, 15, 16. And then moving on from there, we have a special FX A Custom Zildjian. It's got a really unique sound, kind of a trashy sound. Kind of sounds more like a China boy. Then here we have an AAX Sabian, the first Sabian on this side. It is a dark crash, 14-inch. Now, all of these A Customs and the AAX are a more brilliant sound. They're given for brighter styles of music like pop and rock. You could even use them in maybe blues or jazz. But K are generally used in blues and jazz, which I do have a few Ks on my drum set. Moving down here, there's an actual stacked cymbal here. There's a ZXT Trashformer, yes, like Transformer, and it's stacked on top of a Z Custom 16-inch, which sounds like this. Or you can hit the top one for a quicker decay, used more in a groove. Which I use a little more often. My hi-hats are Z Custom, and I really like the sound of these. Z is typically used for heavier style of music, like heavy metal or death metal, but it can be used for a wide range. I've got a little stick holder there in case I drop my sticks, as well as more sticks over here, which does happen, or in case I break one. I do have a clamp here. What this does is if I hit it with my stick, if I hit it with my stick or my hand, it drops the cymbal down so that I can use my double bass and keep the hi-hat closed. When I want to lift it back up, I just simply push on the pedal. And you can see it grabs it, opens it back up. So I can use open hi-hat and then go back to the same thing again. Kind of a unique little device. And on top, there's a smallest splash, another A custom. This is 6 inches. Very splashy, unique sound. All splashes are basically a crash under 12 inches. Here's the largest splash. This one is a Z custom, but I also put rivets in it as well, so it has a sizzle sound to it, which goes as... And you can use different types of rivets to make longer sounds. I had to use some washers on these to keep them in. They kept falling out. There's a tiny Agazarian 12-inch China boy. This is a mini China. But there's more to it. There's something hidden on the inside here. What do we got here? We've got another splash on the inside. So it makes the decay much quicker. So I can actually use that as another stacked cymbal for a hi-hat groovy sound. And speaking of stacked and hi-hat sounds, the chopper over here is made by Sabian. This one is 8 inches. And they do make larger choppers as well. And it can definitely be a substitute for the hi-hat. Going back to here, this is an ice bell. This one's actually a replica. I made this out of a cement sander, the inside of it. And it sounds like that, with a very high-pitched ring, very long overtone. My two largest China boys are 20-inch and 18-inch, both by Zildjian. And this one is an Oriental China. This one's an A custom China. Very loud and explosive. Plug your ears. As you can tell, the one on the right, the A custom China, has more of a high-pitched, clear sound, and the Oriental has more of a trashy, lower sound. My two ride cymbals are one AAX Sabian, similar to the A custom Zildjian, with a lighter sound. I use that more for lighter sounds, blues, jazz, light rock. And then my Z heavy power ride is for the heavier stuff or just plain rock. Got a really nice mega bell. The AAX is a much smaller bell, hardly existent. And jumping over to here, we've got the Dark Crash. K's Dark Crash. This one's actually thin, 18-inch, one of my larger crashes. Again, used mostly for jazz, but you can use it for any style of music. I have another K hybrid custom splash here. It's a mix between the regular K and the K custom. As you can see, the brilliant finish in the middle sounds like. And the most unique cymbal on the drum set is the Spiral China Trash. As you can see, it literally spirals down by Zildjian. There's the rest of the name. All the way down nearly to the floor. And this one you can actually hit in a few different spots. You can hit it clear on top for semi softer sound. It's a very loud cymbal. Or, if you want a much louder and swishy sound, you hit somewhere in the mid-range. And every once in a while it hits something else because it's so large. And that's 18 inches. If you pull it up, it actually will go into a regular cymbal. It's just cut out. Okay, I think that is all of the cymbals except, of course, the gong. Now, it is typically hit by mallets, which I have right here. Mallets and brushes. The mallets make a much softer sound, and you can suspend the cymbal by using mallets. So what do the mallets sound on a different cymbal? Let's find out. This would be the K-Custom Dark Crash suspended cymbal with the mallets. Wow, you guys are going to learn a lot if you don't already know all of this. And either way, at least you get to know everything I have on my drum set. So, I think that is all of the cymbals. Now, we're going to get to the drums. Starting on the right side, going to the left, we've got a rototom, the largest 18-inch. Nice and low. I can actually change the pitch by turning it and go even so low that it doesn't make a sound. Jumping clear to the left side, I have the highest rototom, 6 inches. Now this one right here sounds pretty cool when you twist it while you hit it. And of course I've got an electronic pad by Alesis here. Many different sounds on this one. I've got toms, basses, I've got congas, a couple of timbales, or 3 actually, cowbells, go-go bells, real go-go bells, and electronic cowbells. I've got a Halloween sound with electronic cowbells. There's impact, which is accessories. Wood blocks. All kinds of rhythms and accessories. Electronic drums. Snares, every type. Oh, got a hi-hat at the end. Cymbals and drums. Few crashes, right? Snares. Piccolo snares. And a very solid bass with a punch. And you can go on and have a million different sounds. A lot of fun. Jumping back to the drums, the low tom, or floor tom, because it's connected to the floor. The next one up, medium tom, high tom, and 10-inch high tom. Snare drum is actually metal. This one is steel drum, not wood. In my opinion, wood does sound better. So in the future, you can expect me to have a wood snare drum. I've also got a piccolo snare over here, which is also metal. And the octobans. 8 total octobans, and they are very, very long, as you can see. They just stretch on forever and ever, and the top ones are a little bit shorter, as you can see. Oh, that's a cool view. So these are typically used for lighter parts of the music because they do have a lighter sound. It sounds similar to quads used in the marching band or the quints, the top drum. Also, the bass drum. Which I think has a really good sound. This Pearl Export, which is approximately maybe 20 years old, I think. This drum set is getting fairly old. In the future, I may get a nice Pearl Master Custom. Maple shells. So double bass. You're probably asking, what is this pedal on the right side? This is actually a remote pedal that goes over to a wood block The cool thing about this one is I can actually change what kind of accessory I want. As you can see, there's this small cowbell behind it and a space for another accessory. I can change this out so that I can get you to stay. You can hear the different sounds. The only problem is you have to physically stop playing and twist it unless you have a second person helping. And then keep twisting it more or back to the original position. That's a really cool contraption. This was actually originally used for those beatboxes. So that is where I got this pedal. And then this was made by LP, the multi-gadget. And as you can see, I've got a bunch of accessories. I showed you the go-go bells. I've also got a cowbell over here, and a tambourine. The cowbell is actually made by Zildjian. It's called a Zilbell. And the tambourine is by LP. If you jump over here, my third left pedal is another cowbell made by LP. The rock cowbell. And of course I've got a lot of hardware, which I'll show you here in a minute. Can't forget the wind chimes. Very important. Sticks, it kind of has more of a scrapey sound. If you use your fingers, it's got more of a clean wind sound. Very pretty. The hardware, I use Gibraltar for the cymbal rack. Most of this is custom. I just got the different sizes and pieces I needed and put it all together. You can tell that one's really, really like one of the longest stands they make. There's only one other that is larger. It would literally go through the ceiling if I extended it all of the way. So I've got a curved rack here, holding a lot of my cymbals and the electronic pad. Here, I've got two more sets of leg holding the main part of the cymbals here in the back. And going a little bit further, we've got a very long extension clear over to here, holding half of my octobans. The other half actually have legs connected to them. In the future, I may connect them all to the cymbal rack. It's just much easier. Along with the snare drum and the hi-hat, as you can see, they have legs. It'd be much nicer to just connect everything to the cymbal rack, which I suggest for any drummer that has a remotely large drum set. And on the last piece here, you can see I have two sets of legs because of the angle and the amount of space between that leg and that leg. It is very necessary to have another one to stabilize everything on the end here that you see. So that is my drum set. Hope I didn't miss anything. I'll show you a little bit of the different sounds with different parts of the drum set now. Bear with me while I put you on a stand. Hope you don't get dizzy. Dizzy yet? Alright, here we go. Dizzy or not, here I come. So using just rock, I can pretty much use my whole drum set. go on forever, ever, ever. Of course, the electronic drum set can play by itself, so you can play over it. My very long and extended tour of the drum set. And it looks like we might have fell over a little bit there. Sorry if you got sick on the long journey.